So I learned recently that a lot can happen in mere minutes. You could cook a meal, wash the dishes, browse through Twitter, spend all your life savings in one game. You know, typical life scenarios. What do you know? That last part may have something to do with today's game. Genshin Impact, Breath of the Wild, but with a dash of more waifus. Yes, Genshin Impact is a game you probably heard of, whether it's because a lot of people have been playing it recently, because of the controversy due to its similarities to Breath of the Wild, or, let's be honest, you heard about the waifus, didn't you? Anyways, it's a free-to-play game on everything but the damn Switch. And I know, the words free-to-play can only mean one thing, and we'll get to that later. But let's have a look at the game itself to see what it has to offer, if it's actually worth playing, and if you really will have to whip out the debit card for this one. Let's begin at the very beginning. Okay, not that far. The game starts out with us finding ourselves in an unknown world after a clash with an unknown god who separates us from our twin sister. Typical Saturday morning. We meet Paimon, who is a... What the heck are you? Wait, how did we meet again?
Yeah, Paimon really owes you for that. Otherwise, Paimon likely would have drowned.
What? How did you almost drown? Anyway, Paimon agrees to join us on our adventure as long as there's no water in sight. I think we should be good to... watch out, Paimon. There's a bit of water right there.
You can swim right over.
Wait, you can float? How did you even drown in the first place? From there on, we meet some new characters and learn more about the ongoing events in the world, such as the threat of a dragon called Storm Terror, which has been causing havoc to the local city called Mondstadt. Well, sucks to be them, because I've got a whole world to explore. Look, a decent-looking tree. I knew I'd like this game. This game is an action RPG that is completely open world, meaning you can explore as you please, doing whatever you want, like making a home-cooked meal. Yes, those years of playing Cooking Mama have finally paid off. Now, the main thing to do in this game are the quests, which can be from completing tasks provided by characters, solving mysteries, or confronting enemies threatening the area. There are some minor tasks which can be done to get some extra experience and rewards, but then there are the story-driven tasks that are required in order to progress in the game's plot, and usually they involve visiting a temple or a domain and going up against enemies in the process. The temples are there to learn all you need to know, like techniques when going up against enemies. And speaking of the combat is pretty much like Breath of the Wild, only I don't have to worry about running out of friggin' arrows. There are only a few things you need to be concerned about: using normal attacks, using elemental skills, and avoiding attacks. Now, each character carries a certain weapon and excels in a certain element, so one of the big techniques in battle is switching between characters when it feels necessary. Despite it not being a very difficult mechanic to get down, I actually find it really enjoyable to go up against enemies in this game. However, be aware of where you go to battle enemies. You can go pretty much anywhere, but there are some areas where you will bump into enemies that are much higher level than you are, so the logical thing, go back, train up, and attempt it again later. Of course, this is me we're talking about, so I went forward, started losing, and ran away. But it was a tactical retreat. Yes, it was all part of the master plan, which I will reveal at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Now, of course, we can't possibly call this a true Genshin Impact review without talking about a key feature, the gacha mechanic, and as a Fire Emblem Heroes player, I happen to be an expert on this topic. Now, there are plenty of things you could get at the shop, but let's be real, we're just going straight to the character section and putting those debit card digits already. Yes, Genshin Impact loves introducing new characters to the game, and to be fair, these character designs are pretty nice, and they have their own skills and attacks as well. The only thing is that some of them are only available through the wishes menu, which makes it all a game of chance if you want to get a certain character. But does this really mean you'll have to fork over the cash to really get the complete Genshin Impact experience? Nope, and thank goodness, because I've got Pokemon Happy Meals to buy. Look, as wonderful as the characters may be, you really don't have to go out of your way to actually spend money on this game. With plenty of time and effort, you could eventually be able to get these characters and still be able to enjoy what this game has to offer. Or you could use that time to learn the history of jazz. Come on, people. But Genshin Impact as a whole is actually a pretty enjoyable game. Yeah, there are quite a lot of similarities to Breath of the Wild, like the concept of shrines, how the overworld looks, and even some of the music feels awfully reminiscent of the games. But this is still a fantastic game that looks absolutely stunning on the screen. The character designs are nice, the overworld is beautiful, and I'm telling you, unlimited arrows is a blessing. Not to mention, this game is literally free to play. Now, as for the tactic I was discussing, I learned a little secret. I didn't know you could upgrade your weapons until now.
I'll protect us. Yeah.
Oh, there we go!